Hey, how's it going? It's Martin. So today I want to talk a little bit about how to use your headshots effectively if you're an actor. There's a few primary places that most actors will think to use their headshot, and then on top of that there's other places that a lot of people don't think to use it but can actually be pretty effective for you. So let's start with your prints. The first thing you're going to obviously want to do when you get your headshots taken and after you have them professionally retouched is get them printed on 8x10 paper. Okay, normal paper size is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, but for an actor headshot you need it to be 8 inches by 10 inches, and that essentially means that if you're going to do it yourself you have to buy that smaller paper, or if you're going to get it printed at a professional printing place you should go somewhere that specializes in actor headshot prints, because they're going to know the specific size. They're going to generally be able to print it in higher quality. And to that end, I highly recommend a company called Reproductions. Their website, I believe, www.reproductions.com. They specialize in printing actor headshots, and they're one of the few places left that does, because most of those printing houses are going out of business just because the cost of printing a professional actor headshot is just getting too high, and there's less demand for actor headshot prints than there was in the past because of digital submissions these days. However, you still need at least 25 to 50 prints when you get a headshot session done. You can get more than that if you're going to a showcase or you're going to be involved with some other thing where you have to hand out a lot of prints to people. But in general, you need at least 25. I would say like 50 or so. It's standard practice to do headshots once every year, once every 2 years at absolute most. Even if you're not, your look isn't changing. There are affordable places that you can go and get your headshots done where you can afford to do it every year. A, you're going to keep your headshot up to date. B, you're also going to get better and better at taking headshots. And C, you're going to be able to refine what your look is and what your brand is more and more with each session. So essentially your headshots will work better and better and better for you over time. And that's why I don't recommend getting like 100 copies done. If you go to a print shop and order 100 copies and you're not going to any big showcase, by the time that year comes, that means you will have consistently had to go on audition every single 3.5 days or so and been asked for a hard copy headshot in order to use up all of those prints. Most people don't go on that many auditions, so like 50 or 25 is plenty, and then you can order more if you want later. So that's your headshot prints. Now, another place that you can use your headshot is your business card. This is really important. A lot of actors don't think of it. You need a professionally designed business card, because if you don't have one, it's very hard to, like a lot of actors, they'll either hand a big headshot to someone, on a 8x10 paper, or they'll give you a postcard that's like this big, or even sometimes this big. If someone gives you a postcard like that at, say, like a networking event or some other place, and you don't have a place to put it, you're gonna fold it up and put it into your pocket, or you're gonna throw it out if you don't want to carry it. If you don't have pockets, So keep something that's small, like a business card that someone can easily stick into their bag or their pocket or their wallet, and then they'll be more likely to keep it. And if your headshot isn't on that card, then people won't have a reference, and most people are more likely to remember faces than they are to remember names when they first meet you, as long as your headshot looks like you, but that's a topic for a whole other video. So business cards and 8x10 prints. Another place, some actors do get those postcards made up, and those are still cool. It's much less frequent now. It's more often that a model will do something like a comp card, and they'll have their headshot on one side of it, and you flip it over, and there's 4 different pictures on the back of them, like lifestyle portraits, full body, half body shots. So you can do that if you're interested in it, but in many cases that option isn't necessary. Another thing that you can do is you can post your headshot on your website. That's a very, very simple, easy thing to do. You put your headshot on your about page. You also put maybe a different key main picture that shows your personality on your homepage. That's going to make it really, really easy for people to like instantly recognize who you are when they see you. You should not have random pictures of like other stuff. It should be your headshot on your homepage, and then another headshot on your about page, and then some other photos on your site. Also put your headshot on your social media pages and your LinkedIn page. A lot of actors don't know, but they should have a LinkedIn page, even though it doesn't seem standard in the industry. It actually is, because 92% of people who are hiring will also look you up on LinkedIn just to kind of see what your background is if they're seriously interested in bringing you in. They're not going to look on the LinkedIn page to find your headshot or to find you, but they will look on LinkedIn in order to learn a little bit more about you before they actually hire you for the production. Additionally, another good place to post your headshot is simply to put it onto your casting network's websites, wherever you're going to get all of the auditions coming. You post your headshot on each of those, and in many cases you can post a few headshots just to kind of give people an idea of your range. Another place that you should go to post your headshot is your blog. So on your website, and we'll talk about this in future videos when we go into details about like actors and marketing and how to get more clients and more projects and all that. Having a blog is really important, and in the little about page on your blog about you should have your headshot there. This way it kind of shows up at the bottom of each post, and people who randomly happen to stumble across your blog will see who you are and what you look like, and then they can click the button or the picture of you to kind of be taken directly to your website. On top of that, make sure to update your email profile. So like on Google, you can update your profile photo. Same thing like on YouTube and any other profiles that you have. This way, every time, like for your emails that you send an email out to someone, they keep seeing your headshot over and over again. And you don't want to forget to update it when you get a new headshot done, because otherwise you're sending emails and you set up your Gmail account 7 or 8 years ago, and your photo on there is still like a picture of you from 7 or 8 years ago with your friends or something unprofessional. So definitely update your email. Definitely update your email profile photo. So quickly, before we end this video, I just want to make an important note and distinction on what type of headshot you're going to use when you submit to projects, okay? Because effective use of your headshot doesn't necessarily just mean where you're going to post your headshot online and offline, but it also means how are you going to actually use your headshot as effectively as possible to get the actual job when you submit. So it's really important to know that when you submit, you do not send in just a general headshot. When you go to work with a photographer, you need to shoot anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5 looks, and you want to narrow it down to just the top most relevant headshot that looks exactly like the role that you're applying for. So let's say that you shot a more intense, darker character, and then you shot a more friendly smile type of character, and then you shot like a business professional or something who's just like kind of like this intelligent guy or whatever, right? I would suggest, if you're gonna submit for a darker character, that you only use that more dark, intense shot, and you don't like try to send some generalized photo in. We're going to go into more detail in another video about specifically how to shoot for different character types and brands, but for the sake of using your headshot effectively, you really need to only send in the picture that looks the most like what you think that character would look like that you're actually auditioning for, okay? So this was just some general tips on how to effectively use your headshots online and offline. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have specific ways that you use your headshot that I haven't gone over here that might be helpful to other actors and people watching this video, please leave them in the comments below. I always try to respond and get back to people. But hopefully this was helpful for you. And as always, live with purpose.